Hello everybody, Darlene here from D3 Creations. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make lotion, body frosting, body butter, whatever you want to call it. I call mine body frosting. It's a little bit thicker than lotion, not as thick as body butter, and definitely not as greasy. So before you get started, what you're going to need to have is you're going to need to have your oils, your water component, your fragrance oil that you're going to be using, 2 spatulas or spoons, a towel, your mixer and or stick blender, whichever one you're using, and your containers for pouring. So inside of my oils, what I'm using is a sweet almond oil, coconut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, and then of course the emulsifying wax is melted down. And I've already melted them down. And then you want to make sure that you're using distilled water, only distilled water. You don't want to put any bacteria or anything like that in there. I've already warmed up my oils and my water. Sorry, I had a brain fart right there. So inside of here, my oils and the emulsifying wax. And the emulsifying wax is what basically makes lotion, makes the oils and the water bind together. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what emulsifying wax looks like. And it just looks like little bitty ground up wax. And when you put it in with the oils are kind of solid. For instance, the coconut oil is solid. And it just melts on down and it forms an oil like that. And the water has to be heated for it. You don't want to put cold water into a hot oil. It will thicken quite quickly. So I warm mine first so that it's easier to pour into my containers and so that it doesn't thicken right away. So we're going to go ahead and start pouring the water in to get the base. So I'm and again, the oils have already been heated, the emulsifying wax is in with the oils, and then the water has been heated as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump this on in. And you can kind of see already how it I'm just going to get rid of a little bit of that water there. You can kind of see how it emulsified. It turned from oil into a white liquid. It's still kind of very, very, very fluid, and that's how I want mine. Because like I said, it makes it easier to pour into the containers. So to this, I'm adding my silk amino acids. A little bit different than when we soap. We use Tussa soap, but when I lotion, I use silk amino acids. And this one I got from a company on Etsy called oldtimesoapcompany.com. And a little bit of this goes a very long way. And also to this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my preservative. And I've been doing this long enough that I can kind of eyeball it and see just how much preservative I need. So the preservative that I'm using is a Germabin 2. Some people use Fenernip. I prefer that one. It's a much milder preservative. Anytime you add water to anything, you need to add a preservative if it's not going to be used within 30 days. So if you're doing this at home and you're just making it for a gift or just for fun or whatever, you don't necessarily need to use a preservative unless you're going to use it within 30 days, or you can put it in the refrigerator and you can stretch it out a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick little whip. Make sure everybody's all in there and getting along. Now, majority of this batch, I'm going to be making a Perfect Man scent. However, I do have an order that I'm out of for cucumber melon. So I'm going to reserve some of this for that, just to make sure I got enough there for an 8 ounce. And that should do it right there. Okay, so for this batch here, I'm going to now go ahead and add my fragrance oil. And again, every fragrance, you know, it's up to you prefer. There are certain percentages that are safe for skin. I have made this lotion enough to where I know exactly how much precisely to pour inside to make the recipe, or how much is not harmful for skin. And this one is a Perfect Man, and I make this one with a fragrance called Aqua Spa, and I get this from Crafter's Choice. Smells very, very, very manly. Very clean smell. Clean. I said manly earlier. That was probably not the right terminology to use. It's a very clean smell. Now this is still very fluid, like I said. I like to leave mine very fluid so that it's easier for me to pour and that it doesn't look messy on top. Some people would prefer to put it in the refrigerator to kind of speed up the process. You can do that as well, or you can refrigerate it after you put it into your jars. It's totally up to you. What I do is I fill up the jars and then I cover them with a towel, and I leave them overnight and let any extra moisture kind of evaporate, and then I cap them and label them. So that's what we're gonna do today, just for this one. So you're gonna carefully just pour them in, and I'm using 8-ounce jars. We might only get 3 out of here, and that's okay. Excuse the sniffles, I still have the sniffles. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit more into each one here. And I don't have enough to do 4, I only have enough for 3 8-ounce containers, and then I have a little bitty bit left. I'm not gonna waste the whole jar on that one, so I'm just gonna set that aside, and that'll just be, I will put this into sample containers or use it for personal use, one or the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and fragrance this other one here. And this one is a, I don't know what is up with my brain today. This one is a cucumber melon. Cucumber melon is what I'm making this one for. So, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give the fragrance a quick little stir. We're not gonna blend it in. I don't have another blender down here. Ugh, I can't wait for this stupid cold to go away. It's driving me nuts. And that smells just about perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one into the container here. And again, my next step is I'm gonna put a towel over this and let it sit for 24 hours and let any extra moisture that I do not want, so it'll get the correct consistency by letting it sit overnight for me. And then I will cap them, label them, and that is how I make my body frosting. You can purchase these from www.d3creations, spelled creationz.com. They come in 2, 4, and 8-ounce containers, and of course there are quite a few selections to choose from. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.